Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Iran is shopping for a nuclear weapon. The foreign minister of Iran is in Moscow. He met Putin. That's the first topic. The Iranian supreme leader asks Putin for help. Against whom, I guess? The Iranian parliament voted to close the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of the commerce, global commerce, is going. Actually, the oil, and not only. It has to be approved by the supreme leader. The Iranian parliament, did you know that Iran has a parliament? I thought it was a dictatorship just like that. Oh, it's just fiction like our Congress? Oh, my bad. So they voted to temporarily suspend their membership into IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency. That means we're going to be just like Israel. You can't check us anymore. And they said because this is politicized. IAEA is a politicized bodybuilder. And then we have the Americans who are all-knowing, all-powerful, all. Instead of talking with their allies, like, the jackals from Europe, they go and talk to China and ask China to call on the Iranians not to close the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranians say, for good reason, that their military will set the response to the proportionate response to the American attack on their civilian, or how do you call it, peaceful nuclear program. Remember, the Americans struck and blah, 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 and they caused 6 holes over there in the mountains. Anyway, we're going to discuss that in a different video. So, this is basically what we are going to talk about in this little video that I have. First, Iran's foreign minister is with Trump, not yet, with Vladimir Putin in Moscow. What's next? Is he going to go to Beijing? Is he going to go to Pakistan? Where is he going to go? Karachi? All right, here it is. This is an article coming from Reuters. There you go. And this is from June 23rd, 2025. It is according to Reuters. Iran's supreme leader asks Putin to do more after US strikes. What can Putin do more? He condemned, he called the attack unjustified and illegal. That's Putin. And remember, Russia buys, if I remember, a lot of Shahed drones from Iran. And some reports say even some missiles. So Putin has to give them something back? What exactly? Air defense systems? Nuclear weapons deployment, like in the case of Belarus. Remember, Russia deployed nuclear. Some say they didn't deploy yet the nuclear warheads in Belarus, but the missiles that can carry the nuclear warheads are in Belarus, and Lukashenko said they are in Belarus. Nevertheless, Russia will not give anybody a nuclear weapon. Russia will deploy its weapons, nuclear weapons, maybe on other countries' territories, like the Americans did multiple times, like 7 times in Europe, in 6 countries in Europe. But those 6 countries don't have anything deployed in the United States of America. Why? We have to protect them. Okay. Oh my God. But they are in NATO. So let's read about this little article here. Iran's supreme leader sent his foreign minister to Moscow on Monday to ask President Vladimir Putin for more help from Russia after biggest US military action, illegal aggression of another independent sovereign state against the Iranian Islamic Republic since the 1979 revolution over the weekend. Got it? While Putin has condemned the Israeli strike, he has yet to comment on the US attack on Iranian nuclear sites. What are you talking about? Here you have the comment. Russia Today, no justification for attack on Iran. Putin said the Israeli and US strikes against Tehran are illegitimate and violate international law, according to this guy right here. So let's go to these baboons. So Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi was due to deliver a letter from Khamenei to Putin, asking the letter's backing, a senior source told Reuters. All right, so that's the one. They are in a 20-year partnership, strategic partnership, Iran and Russia. Strategic partnership is not exchanging movies and, things like this. We're going to meet and look at the moon. They are strategic. That means we're going to be somehow together against whom exactly? Evil people always are planning to destroy the good. And the good has to react and defend itself. All right, let's go here to this article. According to the Telegraph, what do you guys know? MI6 guys. Even a visit to Putin won't save Iran's regime. Wait a second. Are we back to George W. Bush and the regime change? We're not back. We are at it. It was just a process, just escalating. So yes, it is about regime change. Is it about a country called Israel deciding what other country can have as a regime or as a government? But nobody else can tell the Jewish state not to remain a Jewish state. And let's say have a few Iranians as, presidents, Mossad directors, or, prime ministers. No, you can't have that. You have to have, certain kind of... Anyway, so it's not going to save the regime. I think it could change, it could save the regime very much. A few deployments over there under the cloak that, hey, Iran, it's yours, but actually it's ours. I don't think that Putin will get involved against Israel. Israel is untouchable because it's got the bully boy over the Atlantic Ocean, and because Israel has nuclear weapons or not. And they will use them. I give you 99.9% good certainty that when you're gonna hear the talk about Israel could use this, the decision has been made already. It's not just a threat. Those guys, look what they did in Gaza, in self-defense, mind you. Do you think they care about the Iranians? All right, let's go to the next one. Putin meets Iran's foreign minister in Kremlin. Let's see what these guys did. So, Russian President Vladimir Putin met with Iranian foreign minister. The foreign minister arrived late on Sunday to hold talks with Putin and senior Russian officials and discuss the development of the situation in the Middle East. Unprovoked aggression against Iran has no basis or justification. You see that? Unprovoked aggression against Iran. Putin stated during meeting with... there you go. Russia has chosen the right path of history, Iranian foreign minister during talks with Putin. All right, Tehran is grateful to Moscow for condemning actions of Israel, US against Iran. That's not enough. You have to get in the game. You have to get into the arena and be a participant. And I'm quoting, we would also like to thank Russia for strongly condemning these actions. Russia today is on the right side of history and international law. Iran Papa and Iran Papa asked me to convey their best wishes to you. I hope that today we will be able to discuss the full range of issues related to these events. Full, that means, are you going to join? Are you going to help us directly with something or not? Tehran believes actions of the US and Israel against Iran to be illegitimate. I mean, you have to believe it, or you have to just look at the facts. And reiterates that the country has the right to defend itself, the foreign minister added. Tehran considers the actions of the US and Israel against Iran illegitimate. Okay, this is the meeting. Let's see what these guys talk. No justification for attack on Iran. Putin. What do you mean? They're going to build... Remember, they're going to build nuclear weapons, Mossad told the Americans, and they're going to build them. They're going to attack everybody, man, because they're crazy. They're crazy. Like Saddam Hussein, and like Gaddafi, and like Assad, and like, I don't know, Putin, and then like Xi Jinping, and then, I mean, the list goes on. So, right there, the Israeli and US strike against Tehran are illegitimate and violate international law, Putin said. All right, closer, more precise, and more serious consultations. This is what they're looking for. So the foreign minister, who landed in Moscow on Monday, said earlier that the visit was needed for closer, more precise, like what the hell are you gonna do? Tell me, so I know how I should proceed, and more serious consultations with Russia in the wake of the pak. All right, Putin said unprovoked aggression. There is no justification. The actions of Israel and US are illegitimate and violate international norms. We got that one. Think about way out of current situation. Israel and the US explained their attack on Iran by claiming that Tehran was on the brink. No, Israel told the Americans of obtaining a nuclear weapon. That the Iranian authorities have repeatedly insisted that they are not working on a bomb, while defending their right to pursue a peaceful nuclear program. Correct. Move on. Iran's proportionate response to US strike will be set by military. Envoy tells United Nations. So that means there will be a response, and I guarantee you will be going to be a response. Why? The Iranians are not baboons, okay? So the Iranians are, I'm going to do this to you, they will do it to you, kind of like the Russians. They will do it proportionately. And what I think they will do, I think they will bomb one or maybe two American military bases in the Middle East. They will hit an airfield with no planes, or maybe, I don't think they will dare, that's the word, they will dare to blow up an airplane, an American, I don't know what kind of airplane they have over there, and destroy it, because that would be, oh my God. They will attack, probably in Iraq, that was going to be a target, probably in Iraq, a old, depleted, zero population American military airfield, that's it. And then they will portray it as, yes, we gave it the same thing. It's not the same thing, but you should, proportionate would be if you strike something within, unfortunately, our beautiful country, okay? Thank God we took it from those guys who did not know what to do with it. Not with the country, with the land. They didn't have countries. Not even writing. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so here we have this. The Americans, if it's proportionate, should get the same recipe, which is boom on these facilities here. There will be a strike. Let's say the Iranians conduct something here, unfortunately, and destroy, damage some nuclear facilities here. That would be proportionate, and that's the military. So they didn't say anything like military, but I think they will just do it in the Middle East on an American base in Iraq. I would predict something like this. And they will say, we did it. And they will say, if you escalate, we're going to go further. We're going to match. Why don't you take the offensive? I understand this, for instance, at the Russians. Every time these guys impose sanctions, they say, okay, we're going to meet them. Every time these guys, we're going to send this kind of weapons over there. They say, okay, we're going to do this. Or we're going to strike inside of your country. Or we're going to meet you this. Why don't you get the other way around and say, no, you send a bullet to Ukraine. We're going to attack Berlin, London, and the other baboon, Paris. Why not? And that would be the offensive. You punch me one time, I knock the fuck out of you. How about that deal? But hey, they didn't do it. They're smart, but anyway. So here, Iran proportionate response. The Islamic Republic of Iran has repeatedly warned the warmongering US regime to refrain from stumbling into this quagmire. Even though Iran reserves its full and legitimate right under international law to defend itself against this blatant US aggression and its Israeli proxy, the timing, nature, and scale of Iran's proportionate response will be decided by its armed forces. I have a question. That's me and that's you, or someone else. And it's tranquility. I don't say anything, you don't say anything, I don't punch, you don't punch me. And then you, this is the proportionality I give you. And then you punch me in the face, clip. Now, I didn't break this proportionality. Who says that I should be controlled by your proportionality and punch you to exactly how much you punch me? I didn't punch you in the first place, so I should reserve to punch you how I feel. That means like this. You know what I mean? So I never understood this, and not understood, disagreed. I always disagreed with, what do you mean you punch me one in the face one time? I'm supposed to punch you one time. I didn't punch you at all. So you got a stake here. From 0, you got a 1. I have to give you a 2 so you can see how the 1 is going to be, like I saw. I'm not going to give you 1. I'm going to you up. That's what I would do, but hey, that's my philosophy. That's the way I roll. All right, let's see how the Iranians are going to close the Strait of Hormuz. And I read an article, a baboonish article, obviously, where they say, well, the Iranians will not dare. They will kill themselves if they will destroy their economy if they close it. It's counterproductive and so on. Well, partly it's true, but what do we have here? Iran's parliament votes to close Strait of Hormuz after U.S. attacks. So the parliament, the problem is, not only the parliament has to decide this, has to go to the Ayatollah and they have to make the decision. All right, following U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities, the Iranian parliament has voted in support of closing the Strait of Hormuz. I will show you the map where that is. One of the world's most critical oil transit checkpoints, according to media reports. Any final decision on retaliation, however, will rest with the Supreme National Security Council and leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The parliament vote merely advises him of the option to pursue. Next. Hoppa, we need friends, right? Because our allies are dead in the water floating downstream. BBC News. US asks China to stop Iran from closing Strait of Hormuz. Or US urges China to dissuade Iran from closing the Strait of Hormuz. Why don't you do it yourselves, man? Why don't you send from your Middle East, from your Israel, over there? Why don't you send out of your 9 destroyers and 2 aircraft carriers and about 5 to the... That's all you got. That's this war on Ukraine, Jesus Christ, on Iran, unfortunately for some and fortunately for others, will show the Americans' limitations. That's so idiotic. Why? They will not. Remember with the coalition what the Americans were able to do to Iraq? 20 million people depleted. They didn't have, they had some Scud missiles and nothing. Nothing basically. So this is going to be not the Americans Vietnam again or the Russians Afghanistan or no, this is going to be, they will not dare to go full force in. Iran is not Iraq, obviously. They will not dare, and they will show the limitations. Oh, well, our bombers. Oh, bombers. Do you think that the Iranians could not shoot those down? How do you think those just flew invisible over there? The Iranians did not know they were coming? Do you think that's the way it was? If you think that's the way, I don't know, give me $20,000 today, I will give them to you tomorrow with a interest rate of 3,000%. I'll meet you tomorrow at noon. Give it to me. All right. No. Sometimes in order to make something, to go into a certain decision, you allow something to happen. I'm not saying they allowed. They already removed what was over there. Do you think these guys don't talk to one another behind the scenes? Do you think these guys are not communicating? All you see by the media, that's all what it is? I don't believe that. I know that's not what it is. Why? Study history and you understand the Soviets, even the Soviets, which had nuclear weapons, and the Americans, nuclear weapons, they communicated all the time. They made deal behind the scenes. But anyway, so yeah, they asked China, why don't you do it? Why don't you ask, Israel to talk to them again? All right, you need, all right. Let's go to see what these guys are saying. Iranian parliament to pass bill to suspend cooperation with IAEA. Chairperson. The Iranian parliament plans to pass a bill to temporarily suspend cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, due to its politicized stance. This was announced. Okay, what does that mean? That means that under those suspension, you can ask me anything about my program. And according to the United Nations, when you bomb me, what do you want me to do? You have to be strong in condemning this attack. And they were kind of, yeah. All right, next, let me show you the map where this Strait of Hormuz is. So this is the map of the Middle East. Iran is right here in purple rain. And we have right here, this is the location. I'm going to zoom in. This is that little thing that wants to take everybody out so they can rule everything. Because remember, in the Bible, the horizon there, all that God gave these goat shepherds was this, kind of like this. That's all. That's all God thought is necessary to tell those guys over there supposedly about the world they lived in. That is in walking distance, okay, of a person in a few years. So that tells you what? God did not know about, let's say, I don't know, China. Or it's in the Bible or something, if you read it. Okay, here it is. So this is the Strait of Hormuz right here. This is by Oman. The Americans have bases here. They're all over the place. But I think they will be attacked right here. But I want to show you something else about the Gulf of Hormuz right here. Around 20% of global oil trade passes through the strait. By the way, oil jumped a lot after the US attack. So a lot of people made a lot of money who had the prior information about the attack, by the American attack. So remember, do you think that Trump is just stays idle? If he just does that, you got that guy, they walk out and they tell their guys in New York what to do. He's gonna do it. What? I don't know. You know exactly. And you know what to do on the stock market. And all of a sudden you're gonna have these gurus like Soros, you're gonna have gurus like all these beautiful guys are somehow good with money. Oh my God, it's so easy. So they have, some experts have said that if Iran were to cut off access to the strait, it could spike oil prices by 30 to 50% immediately. Right now I think it's about 75, 78, 77, something like this. So that would be about 30%. Let's give it about 25 dollars. So we'll go probably about $100 per barrel. With gas prices likewise rising as much as $5 per gallon. All right, you got it, my friends. Putin will not get too involved, but maybe he should. Maybe he should, because this is for real. These guys in the West, unfortunately for us, for everyone, I would say, they have bad intentions and they will not things go. As I said, it's just in Ukraine it's not going to be peace. It's going to be an armistice, or not even a ceasefire, temporary ceasefire, until NATO takes care of other auxiliary forces of everybody else and then focuses. It's just as a regrouping. And I hope the Russians know that, and the Chinese know that, and the Iranians, even North Korea, India, Brazil, they have to know, the guys from the BRICS countries, that this is just Russia, if right now is left over there, is not going to be off the hook. It's just postponed. And now they have to take care of other things, and after they take care of the other things, they will come back to you. It's not like, oh, okay, you know what, let's be friends, let's share. There's no such a thing. There's no. This is in the Hollywood movies, in school, to regiment our kids, indoctrinate other kids with this kind of imagine all the people. That's in the freaking unicorn world. This is a toddler mentality. There's no such a thing. We're human beings, goddammit. We are human beings, and we are bad entities, organism. We are. Why? We have wants, and we will get them, and we have the brain to get them. Remember, I'm not going to go into that, fuck it. What I'm trying to say is the Russians have to look at the destruction or the regime change of Iran as a step of these guys towards strangling Russia eventually. They tried in Ukraine, didn't work out. They're going to try like this, and to befriend Russia. As I always say, one day the West will befriend Russia, come closer to Russia, and then get to Russia by the, hey, what are you doing, Ivan? And Ivan, hey, what's up? We're friends again, man. No, you've never been friends. Never will be friends. Hey, we're friends again. Hey, Ivan, look at that beautiful... look at that beautiful moon over there. And Ivan, oh, where? Oh, over there. Oh, this beautiful moon over there. Okay. And then it's over. I guarantee you that's what's gonna be. This is for my nostrils hairs inside. All right, my friends, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.